Hi guys, Nicole Kernohan here, holistic life and mindset coach, positive psychology coach. I want to share with you today 6 things that I've been doing that I've been finding really helpful to help reduce negative thoughts. With everything that's going on in the world right now, we just need as many tools as we can find. And if one of these things or all of these things can help you and give you a little bit more peace, then my job is done. Then I really hope that happens for you. Now, first, I really want to start by just saying you're doing your best. We're not taught in school, in business, in life, how to best behave during a global pandemic. We don't know. We don't know how to think, how to feel, how to act, and things are changing so rapidly. So just give yourself a little bit of love. And I just want to start by saying that everyone's handling this differently. Everyone is feeling and responding differently. And let's just be empathetic and understanding that we're all just figuring it out as we go. Okay, so the 6 things. The first one, I have them written down here to make sure I get it all out for you. But the first one is 3 deep breaths. We'll start with the simplest one. Literally take 3 deep breaths. Try it right now. I like to do in through my nose, out through my mouth. I don't think there's an exact right or wrong way to do it personally, but taking 3 deep breaths. Literally, you're inhaling new air, you're exhaling old air. It causes your body to slow down for a second. It allows like serotonin and positive hormones, helps reduce cortisol, stress hormones. It's a simple thing. It's so easy to do and so easy not to do. I do it with my son. He's 4, and when he's running around getting excited or getting hyper, or especially before bedtime, we're like, okay, 3 deep breaths. It's shocking how much that simple activity can calm you, and it's so easy. So just try to add that one in if you haven't already. Take 3 deep breaths. The second one is daily gratitude. Writing a list, and I'm going to suggest you start with the simplest way. Just start with 3 things. Start by writing every day, 3 things that you're grateful for, that you're thankful for, that you appreciate. And gratitude is one of the fastest ways to change how we feel. So we have, I won't go into it too much today, but we have this conscious mind, this thinking mind where we see with our eyes, we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch consciously. We experience the world. We see what's happening. And then we have this subconscious part of our mind. That's where our emotions are. That's where our beliefs, our self-image, our fears, our joys, like all of our emotions and beliefs, which create emotion as well, are all in this deep-rooted subconscious way. And it's more difficult. There's a process and ways to do that. I'm happy to help with that. But it's a bit of a process to change. You can consciously think something nice, but to get it into our subconscious, to change our emotion, it is a trickier process. So gratitude is one of the fastest ways to change how we feel, because you're looking at things that you have already. You're looking at the people in your life who are here right now in front of you. You're not visualizing some future state that isn't here yet. You're looking at the people in this moment, presently, right in front of you. I'm grateful for this person right now because I'm grateful for this roof over my head right now. I'm grateful for this beautiful sunny day, and I can step outside, and even if I'm not walking far or not going too far, I can step out and enjoy some fresh air. So really taking a moment, it brings you kind of into the present moment, so you're not focused as much on the past, and you're not focused as much on the future. It allows you to be present and think of things that are in your life right now, and help to shift the way you think and feel in this moment. Now, there are layers to gratitude and a lot of complexity in that. I'm happy, again, to share more about that separately, but just to start, just write down 3 things, ideally every single day, 3 things you're grateful for, and try to pause and reflect on them, and like try to get into a state where you actually see them so that you feel them. If we are so easy to focus on all that's missing in our lives and all that's going wrong, but really try to be present and focus on things that are positive every single day. A good friend and mentor of mine, Tony Child, who's a gratitude expert and the CEO of Elevated Worldwide, has done so much research on the power of gratitude and how much it can change your life and how much much it can change how you feel. So really take that to heart and practice gratitude. The third one is move your body. I preferably outside if the weather's okay and you're physically able and you can get outside safely while still social distancing, or I like to call it physical distancing. You can still be social, but physical distancing. But to get your body moving, we have to physically move our body. We need to have our blood flowing, if we're able, of course, blood flowing, air flowing, moving our joints. We'll stiffen right up if we don't move. And getting outside with that movement can get that fresh air in. If you haven't done it yet, you almost always will immediately feel better if you go for a walk around the block, if you go outside. For a lot of reasons, even just being around nature by itself has also been proven to change how we feel. But also, did you know, David Pachela Evans, I think is that his name? Yeah, David Pachela Evans, he's the founder of Good Life Fitness, which is the largest fitness chain here in Canada, across the country. And he's studied this and said that if you do 20 minutes of exercise 3 times a week, then you are going to be more fit than like 90% of the population. This here in Canada, but I'm sure it's similar in the States. So it's not a lot. I would suggest you try to do 20 minutes every single day. Would be amazing, but it doesn't have to be a big workout. It can be going for a walk. It can be an at-home workout if you'd like, which I am doing, and I love those. But you can also go for a walk or a bike ride. Do yoga. Something doesn't have to be fast-paced. It can be slower paced, especially if you're feeling really anxious. You may not feel like you have the energy to do an intense workout, but there is so much serotonin and dopamine, all those happy hormones that get produced, as well as energy, airflow, and blood flow when you do physically move your body. 20 minutes, I'm not asking for a lot, 20 minutes a day. The fourth one is a little more tricky for a lot of people, especially since we're bombarded with information right now, but it's to stop or reduce saying negative things out loud, as well as typing them, not handwriting them too much, but typing them or verbalizing them. The more we repeat our words verbally, the more we repeat our words even in writing, we are reaffirming the fear, the doubt, the magnitude of the situation. And I'm not trying to downplay. I am aware of the magnitude, and at this moment when I'm recording this video, I imagine a lot's going to change in the next few days. Like it's changing every day rapidly. So it's a global pandemic. But there's a difference between awareness and overwhelming emotion. You can be aware of the magnitude of the situation and aware of what to do and how to handle and how to behave, like social distancing and things like that, and without being overwhelmed by repetition of fear. So this is kind of where this is where 4 and 5 kind of blend in together a little bit, because 4 is trying to reduce saying, verbalizing all the negative things. Gotta stop saying it out loud. Stop saying it out loud. What we say out loud, whatever we repeatedly say, becomes a belief, and it affects our emotion. That's where we get into that subconscious emotional state. So trying to reduce the amount of repetition of negative words, which leads right into number 5, which is minimize watching the news. You may have heard people say this, maybe you haven't. Now, I'm not suggesting you can watch it even if you want, if you are able to, and you can handle the emotional state of it, but if you want to watch it even once a day, briefly, or read it, or reading is a little bit less emotion to listening, perhaps. But again, back to the awareness, we can be aware of what's happening without watching all the facts about all the news and all the countries and all the everything and repeating that emotion. Because if you can watch it and have no emotion to it, most people are not able to do that. It's not as severe, I guess, but technically it's still repetition. So it's this difference between awareness and emotion. Awareness, one time, reading a statement, getting an update for 5-10 minutes, and then the rest of the day, not constantly, repeatedly watching the news and the updates and repeatedly talking about it, thinking about it, saying it. It's difficult to do. It's difficult to do that in a global pandemic like this, because it is everywhere and is on everyone's mind. It's going to be on your mind whether you watch the news all day and talk to people all day about it or not. So let's just try to minimize the amount of negative emotion that we're putting into it. And then the last one is the final thoughts before you go to bed. So right before you go to bed, Please, please, if you're gonna watch the news, do not watch it right before bed. Preferably not first thing in the morning or right before bed. Those are two very important times of day, but please do not watch it right before bed. Whatever thoughts you put into your mind right before you fall asleep is brewing all night. And I talked about this conscious part of our mind and this subconscious part of our mind. Your subconscious controls 95% or more of your actions, of your results, of things that happen in your life. Is mostly subconscious. And right before you go to bed is when your subconscious mind opens up and says, whatever you put in here, I'll just brew all night and reflect on it while you're asleep, and then affect you the next day as well. So right before you go to sleep, I highly encourage either rereading your 3 gratitudes if you wrote them earlier in the day, or you can choose to do your gratitude at that time right before bed. Right before bed is a great time for prayer. It's a great time for meditation. Meditation, the idea is just to clear your thoughts. Stopping the thought. So it's easier to stop thought than if you have a lot of negative thought, it's technically a little easier to stop that than to try to go over to all the positive things. So stopping the negative thought through prayer, through meditation, gratitude, great time, like I said. Even visualization is a tool. Not everyone right now is in an emotional state of visualization and goal setting. We're kind of in a survival mode right now for a lot of people, but that is a great time as well to do kind of a visualization of the future right before bed. Okay, so that's what I'm going to share. And I really hope those are valuable. So I'm going to recap really quickly. Breathe, 3 deep breaths. Second one is gratitude. Write your gratitude list, 3 things a day or more. That's just the starting point. But if you're new to this, start with 3 things a day. The third one is move your body, ideally outdoors every day. 20 minutes a day is my suggestion, or more, but a minimum. Number 4 is try to stop or reduce saying negative things out loud and typing negative things. Minimize that, bring it to a simmer. And then number 5 is minimize watching the news. You can get updates, but not emotional repetition to trigger a deep emotional state. Just awareness, not deep repetition into emotion. And then number 6, the final one, is the final thoughts before you go to bed. Use that time right before you fall asleep to clear your mind, to think of things you're grateful for, to meditate, to pray, to visualize anything that is not fear, worry, doubt, task lists, not enough, how am I going to? All that thought has to be cleared as much as you're able. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's new. If this is the first time doing this and you've gone to bed with all those cluttering thoughts every night up until today, it's not going to change overnight, but really be cognizant of that, and that's a great time to try to make that shift. Okay, now what I'm going to say is I just told you 6 things, so a lot of stuff. If this is new to you, this might sound overwhelming, like how am I going to do all 6 of these things? Pick 2 of them, even 1. Pick 1 or 2 of them. Okay, hopefully you got to recap, hopefully you took some notes, you can rewind this video, but just start with 2. Okay, Bob Proctor, he's about 86, I think now, world expert in positive psychology and understanding how our thoughts affect our feelings and our actions. He's one of my coaches and teachers as well in this space. But he really highly suggests, the research shows, that you start with 2 things rather than trying to do all these things at once, because then that could create some overwhelm as well, and it's also more difficult. If you commit to habits, especially because these are things I'm suggesting you do every day, which is a habit, daily things, like a habit, start with 2. Pick 2, do those 2 for 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, until you feel like you've got them. Still keep tracking them, because if you've done it for a long time, you can still, a habit can be broken at any moment, but really try to just start with 2 things to help you feel good. Okay, hopefully this added value. Hopefully you can give you a little bit of peace. If you enjoy this video, please, I'd absolutely love you to share. Anyone who you think, or everyone probably can need these things right now, but feel free to share. Comment if you agree, or if you have any other tips. If you have any other things in addition to these, I know there's a lot of other things that have helped you to kind of minimize negative thoughts. I would love to hear any ideas that you have. And of course, like my videos as well anytime. Okay, thanks so much, guys.